dedicated to each and every one of you who appreciate a great glass of wine. You know what I mean?
It's Monday. Let's raise a glass to the beginning of another week. It's time to unscrew, uncork, or saber a bottle. And let's begin exploring the wine glass. One day, a few months ago, I was walking through a wine shop looking for something a little different. As I perused the shelves, it was the same old supermarket wine after supermarket wine. I turned to leave, and as if a light was shining down to catch my attention, there was a white Malbec from Bodega Trivento. My winery, Dracaena Wines, produces a white Cabernet Franc, Blanc de Franc, so of course my curiosity piqued. I picked up the bottle, took a photo, sent it to my husband, and brought it home. After enjoying it, I reached out to Trivento to ask if I could speak with the winemaker and share our love of making a white wine from a red grape. If you listen to a lot of podcasts, you know that many ask for Patreon. We do not plan on doing this, but we do ask you to support the podcast by leaving a review. It takes only a few seconds of your time, but means so much to the show. The next best way to support Exploring the Wine Glass is to tell your friends. If you enjoy the podcast, your wine-loving friends will too. Finally, don't forget to head to the website exploringthewineglass.com to read the blog and sign up for the newsletter so that you can keep up with all the happenings. Slancha.
Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Lori Budd, a UC Davis winemaking program, Spanish wine scholar, sommelier service, champagne and Côte d'Aron specialist, and a WSET Level 2 graduate. You can find Exploring the Wine Glass on all the socials as well as your favorite podcast catchers. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time to swipe, subscribe, rate, and review. Stay in the know about all things wine by visiting my website, exploringthewineglass.com. I promise I'll never tell you what to drink, but I'll always share what's in my glass. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Allure of the Poor, sponsored by Dracaena Wines. I am beyond thrilled about this episode today. I have, and I'm going to probably say it wrong, Maximiliano Ortiz. Did I get it?
Perfect.
Hey, all right, from Trivento. So Max, thank you so much for coming on. I reached out to Trivento because of a very particular wine. So thank you so much for coming on and taking time from your schedule to chat about it.
Hi, Larry. Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here speaking with you about Argentina, about wines and everything. So I'm very excited for this podcast.
Thank you. So my very first question is for everybody is the origin story. So, how did you find your way to wine? Was it in the family? Is this something you always wanted to do? How did you get here?
That is a good question because nobody in my family is related with the wine industry. And everything started like time ago when I was in the last year of the high school. We are here in Mendoza, so for that reason, one of the final exam was make a wine. So
in
as
high
you can
school?
imagine, yes, it was. We were a group of 18 years old guys making our first wine, and that was amazing. I fell in love with the wine, with the process, with everything, and that was the reason why I decided to study winemaking.
That is a first. I have never heard of somebody who making wine in high school as a project, as a high school project. What did you make?
That was time ago. Like I'm 40 now, so that was like 22 years ago. But I think it was a Malbec for sure. And I don't know how was the wine. Even probably I have some bottles still in my house, but
I hope so.
Yes, it's amazing. My first wine, and it was 22 years ago.
That's awesome. I absolutely love that. I love it. And then did you go to college already being able to do a program in winemaking, or did you go to college and then extend that? What was that next step for you?
So when I finished my high school, at the next year, 2002, I started in Don Bosco University, which is one of the most prestigious and oldest wine university, probably in South America. So I studied my degree. I got my degree in Don Bosco, and I started to work. Meanwhile, I was studying. I started to work here in Trivento.
Oh, wow. Right from the get-go, right on in there, huh? That's fantastic.
My first and only job has been here in Trivento.
That is very unusual. At least,
Yes, especially nowadays, it's not common at all.
Right. Wow. Well, kudos to you. That's awesome. You go right into what you love what you do, and you stay. That's perfect.
Yes, and I think at the beginning it's just a touch of lucky because you don't know. You just start to work and you start to study something that you don't know. And nowadays I feel so proud about everything, and I really love and I have a passion about the winemaking. So it was a lucky drop.
All right, fantastic. So before we get actually into the wines, let's talk about Trivento a bit. How did the winery itself start? And it has something to do with winds, right?
Exactly. The name Trivento means three winds because here in Mendoza we have three particular winds that blow in different season of the year, different time of the year. And these winds leave their mark in our vines and of course in our wines. And the name of these winds are Sonda, Polar, and Sudestada.
Okay.
Okay. Can you repeat that?
No.
Sonda, Polar, and Sudestada, three winds with different characteristics, very particular, and during different time of the year. And we have the influence of these winds in our vines, and that is amazing. That is the name of the winery, Trivento. And the winery was founded in 1996 by the Chilean group Conchitoro.
Okay.
So the idea from the very beginning was to show the Argentinian terroir, the Argentinian wine, everything with Argentina, not with Chile. So it's pretty new. We have only 28 years in the market.
Well, yeah, but you've made quite a mark for yourself in those 28 years. I mean,
yes,
I think it's a very well-known brand and a well-respected brand.
Exactly. We are a very prestigious brand here in Argentina, and not only here, also in United States, in UK, in different markets around the world.
Now, those three wins, is it usual or is it common to have a specific one area that gets all three of those wins? I mean, like I think of Spain, you typically get a wind in one region and it is different wind in another region, So to have all three at your location, is that common?
In our location here in Mendoza, even bigger than Mendoza is a Cuyo region. It's very common. You can get these three winds, not together,
right?
But it's very common, and we have every winter we have the Polar. During the spring we have the Sonda, which is a wind who came from Chile. During the summer we have the Sudestada. So it's very common. We have every year, and we can change the intensity or how often happen these winds.
Very cool. Yeah, I love how, climate is so involved in that winemaking process. And one of the things that I talk about all the time when I'm trying to educate people is if you're going into a store and you're picking up a bottle of wine and it tastes the same every vintage, so something's not right there, right? Because climate plays such an integral part, and climate's not the same every year.
Something that a word that I really love is terroir, because terroir involves everything: the water, the climate, the soil, even the people who work in the vineyard, in the winery. And I agree with you. Every year is different, so you have different conditions, and the wine will taste different every year. You can follow an idea, you can follow a target, but you have small differences every year.
Absolutely. So before we get into the wine of that made me, all hippity hoppity in the wine shop, let's talk a little bit more about Trivento. How can people visit? How do they get to you?
Well, you can visit our webpage, which is trivento.com. You have all the information there. Even you have a virtual tour when you visit our webpage. So you can take with the winemaker and you have all the information there. And if you are here in Mendoza, you can visit. You don't need a schedule. You can visit the winery. And that is amazing. And we're receiving visitors every day and from different part of the country, different part of the world. We have different activities. You can walk through the vineyard, you can visit the winery, you can taste all our wines. So it's very rich and very interesting.
And what's the closest airport? How do they get to you?
It's really, really close. We are located in Maipú. Maipú is a department next to in the center of the province, and it's like no more than 40 minutes from the airport.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
All right. So the wine that we are here to really talk about today that really got me so excited in the wine shop is your white Malbec. And this is, when you say white, this is white. I mean, this is like I'm looking at pure waterfall water, right? Right? Crisp, fresh water. So let's talk about this. What made you decide to make a white Malbec?
Well, it's the story is very nice. It's a long story, but everything started like 5 years ago because in Trivento we are very we want to make something not only for the company. We want to do something for our environment, for the people. So we decided to create a new product, which is white Malbec, and with the sales, we provide scholarship to different students all around the country.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that part of it. That's fantastic.
Well, you have all the information. If you visit trivento.com, you have all the information. The name of the program is Vientos de Cambios. So we have a scholarship program to provide this scholarship to different students around the world, around the country. And that depends on the sales. And the most beautiful is we are still growing in volume, so we are still growing in sales. So we are providing more and more scholarship.
That is fantastic. So when you pour it into the glass, I mean, I'm still blown away. I mean, look, you can still read my backdrop with through it. So tell us about the process of this, like your harvest time. Are you harvesting as a red grape? Are you harvesting earlier? When are you picking it? And are you concerned concerns are different about red Malbec versus white Malbec? Tell us that harvest time and stuff.
Well, first, Lori, let me explain you. We are the first winery in Argentina to make a white wine with Malbec. So we create a new category. We are making our own path because we are learning every year. We are trying to improve all the techniques every year, and that is beautiful. And the most important nowadays, you can see here in Argentina, at least 10, 15 wineries making or producing white Malbec, which is amazing. That is fantastic.
Oh, right. What is the saying? The highest form of respect is copying or doing the same thing, right?
So the first vintage for this one was 2019, and the white Malbec was a rosé Malbec.
Okay.
because as I told you, I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's very difficult to make, and I needed like at least 3-4 years to make something interesting and to make the real white Malbec with the color that you can see now. So the first year was a rosé. I
Okay.
had a lot of fight with the marketing team. No, we need something clear. We need something wider. Okay, this is the best that I can do. But now I think we have an amazing product, very different, and innovation is a beautiful word to describe white Malbec. It's something completely different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you harvest it, tell me, are you harvesting it at the same time as the red Malbec?
No, and I think that is one of the most important steps. I start the harvest the last week of January.
Okay.
So that is like 40 days earlier than a regular Malbec.
Okay. So, so here's my next question. As your does Malbec have any negative notes as an underripe grape? So Cabernet Franc, right? Cabernet Sauvignon have those pyrazines that really are big when they're underripe. So are you concerned with any red, Malbec issues if it's underripe?
Yes, of course, I was, because imagine it was 40 days earlier, picking a Malbec. So when you if you visit the vineyard and you taste the Malbec the last week of January, it's not green, but it's almost. So you don't feel the fruit, you just feel the acidity, the malic acid especially.
Right.
And the flavor is very neutral. So you don't feel a lot of things. For that reason, I was very concerned about the grape, but I think that was the best idea or the best concept to take off the color, because it's not mature at all, the color, and for that reason it's very easy to separate.
So I can't even imagine. Like, I know when you're making a rosé, you're picking it to be brighter acidity. But that's a very big difference. And I'm just like 40 days is a big difference.
Yes, just to give you an idea, then it's very general, but just to give you an idea, we start to pick the rosé the second week of February here in Argentina, in Mendoza. So it's very ripe, fresh, but I move it 10-15 days earlier than that.
So you're picking it even before the rosé.
Exactly.
I'm blown away that it's that early. Like, I can't. I'm trying to think of how we're getting, well, the apple, how you're getting that any flavor really and any aromatics at that time, because it's so young for the grape.
Yes, because even we discover a new descriptor in the Malbec grape, which is the apple, because we're picking the grapes so early that we found it's new aromas like green apple. Do you know what lychee is?
Yes, only because
Well,
I've never had it, but only because I have the vials that have the flavor, the aromatics. That's the only reason
okay.
why.
Every time I visit US, I try to taste lychee, because I've seen in different places lychee, the fruit, and it smells like lychee, which is not common at all, but it's like a tropical fruit with some sweet aromas.
Yep. Yeah. And so, all right, so we're picking the fruit earlier. Are you looking
Yes.
for a specific, now that you've kind of honed in a concept, are you looking for specific bricks? Are you looking for a specific, malic acid level? What is your trigger? Okay, now I'm going to pick to be white.
The main reason is because of the color.
Okay.
I think that is, for me, the most important, because as you can imagine, the Verizon, it's okay, the pronunciation of Verizon,
Yep.
it's just finished when the grapes change the color, the Verizon. So I'm looking just 2-3 days after the whole variation, because I want to remove the color. For that reason, I start the harvest so early.
Okay.
And then with the time I found it, the acidity, the freshness, this kind of new aroma, which is fantastic. But the main objective is just the color.
And your first vintage, when you didn't pick earlier, what was that flavor profile? That rosé, so per se.
It was like a rosé because the fruit was fresher than a regular Malbec, but you can feel the cherries, the strawberry in a very fresh stage, but not the apple, not the lychee. It's something more mature than that. So it was very difficult to compare or to defend in front of a rosé because it was almost the same. So for that reason, I need to do something different. So, well, I move it 10 days earlier and I start to make different things to different from a rosé.
Okay. And now once it's in the winery, walk us through the process. Do you press off in fractions? Are you looking at different fractions? Are you doing anything while the juice is being pressed? Like, what's that process once you get it to the winery?
Well, after the harvest, the most important is to move to receive the grape as faster as possible, because I try to avoid the contact between the skin and the pulp. I don't like that. So I receive the grape immediately, probably no more than 2-3 hours from the harvest, which is nothing. And I pressed the grape in order to separate the skin and the juice, the pulp, the must.
Okay. But are you doing that in fractions? Or are you doing like a quarter bar and then checking out what it is, a bar, or do you have a program that already just presses to a certain?
No, I'm trying to taste the free run. It's okay when you press the free run. I try to taste all the free run because it's different, and to make the perfect moment to stop the free run to separate the press, because it's a different quality and it's very precise. You need to be there tasting and watching what do you have.
And then, so if you're watching it and you get color in it, like you start to see that pink, what do you do at that point?
We separate.
Pull the hair out.
Exactly, we separate. That's all, and we move the press for a different wine or something different. But here we have only free run. We don't have press.
Okay. And so, do you feel that any red grape can be turned into a white wine, or do you think there's certain characteristics of certain varieties that make some more susceptible to it than others? Did that make sense?
No, yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course. I've never think something about that, but probably Cabernet Franc can be. I'm talking about Argentinian grapes. Cabernet Franc can be a great variety because of the tannins and the acidity and the fruit profile. I don't know about the pyracinics. How is that when you pick the grapes so early? But I think can be an interesting variety to make a white wine. And I don't know which other, but not all the varieties you can make a Blanc de Noir. Not all.
Okay. What do you think would be a negative variety? Too much tannin? Oh my God, could you imagine like a white Petit Verdot?
Well, no, but here in Argentina, our Cabernet Franc are very, very tannic.
Okay.
So that is not a reason. So probably, I don't know. I'm looking for some varieties with a good expression, with something different. Do you know what Bonarda is?
Say that again?
Bonarda?
Yeah.
A red variety, very common, very traditional in Argentina. I think that is not a good variety for a white because you have less expression, less acidity. So probably you need something with more aroma or more complex.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like hearing that you think Cab Franc, because one of the reasons why we were so excited about the white Malbec was because we make a white Cab Franc.
Yes, I know they're good.
I will say that I wouldn't class it. This is our first year. I wouldn't say it's a rosé, but it's more of a golden. It's more of a golden. Definitely don't have the nice crystalline clear that you have. But we did harvest at the same time because we were very worried about the pyrazines.
The pyrazines.
And so that was our biggest concern, is we didn't want a white wine that was so green, basically. But that is peach and nectarine.
Okay.
So,
and how about the tannins? Are hard tannins soft?
They're very, very light, very soft. We did that by fractioning and throwing dry ice on, as we were pressing it. So that's why I was asking about the fractions, is because we did it in a bladder press, but then we did a quarter bar, took that out, and I'm like, okay, I can deal with that color, then the half a bar.
Yes, of course.
Okay. And then we started to get a little too pink, and I panicked, and I'm like, nope, we're done.
Well, I'm doing something different because you are using dry ice, and I mean the opposite side. I'm looking for the oxidation of the must.
And that's what I had read. I'm like, so tell me about that. When you're pressing, how are you putting that oxygen in there to stop that? What are you doing?
I'm starting doing the pressing and the crushing. I'm not using nothing, no dry ice, nothing. Just I like the contact with the oxygen, because you start to burn the color material. And then, I think this is the most important, at least for me, during the alcoholic fermentation, not during the pressing, during the alcoholic fermentation, I add oxygen, but in a very, very, it's not oxygen, it's a micro-oxygenation.
Right.
So it's a very small amount of oxygen that helps to burn the color material, and you can obtain this beautiful crystalline color.
Yeah, it is. It blows my mind how clear it is.
It looks like water.
It absolutely, or vodka.
Vodka. I think it's better.
Right, absolutely. And so, when did you start the concept of the micro-oxygenation? So you said like 2019, it was kind of a rosé, and then so each vintage you've taken something away of, okay, what did I do here, and how can I make this more crystal? So when did the micro-oxygenation come in, and what other little tweaks did you come along the way of, like, maybe this will work?
Yes, I remember perfectly. That was during the 2021 harvest. I was outside the winery. I was in my house during the harvest season, of course, thinking, what can I do to make something clear or to make a white? And I started to think in the oxygen, because it's not common at all using oxygen in the whites. But, well, if I add oxygen, probably I will oxidize the color material, and I don't have nothing to retain that. So for that reason, we'll move or precipitate, and will be very easy to separate.
Okay.
So I started to taste in different wines, in different tanks, adding oxygen, different doses, different kinds of way to add oxygen. And of course, I needed all the 21, and then during the 22, some small adjusted, but that was the main secret. And I think from 2021, 22, we have an amazing and beautiful white Malbec.
So you think that was your hurdle year, 21
Yes, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. I'm completely sure about that.
And so now when you're pressing the red Malbec, right, versus the white, that tonnage has to be completely different, right? You have to be getting less volume out of the press for that white Malbec than you are for the red, correct?
No,
Oh, okay. Because of that microoxygenation? Oh, no, because you're picking earlier.
exactly, because I'm picking very early, so I have a good relation between the liquid and the solid, and even it's higher when you press the traditional red grape, because you have some racing, and for the reason you have a lower quantity of liquid.
Okay. And so that first year, 2019, approximately how much white Malbec did you make?
Well, how do you prefer, in cases or
Cases.
liters?
Cases, if you could.
The first year we made 30,000 9-liter cases.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a big volume. Even if you are doing something new, it's a huge
I know, that's
volume.
like
30,000.
our nervous wreck with that. Like, oh my God, I've got all this volume of something that I really have no idea if it's going to be what I want it to be, right?
Yes. So the first year we made 30,000 9-liter cases, and 2024, because we are in the harvest yet, we made 150,000 9-liter cases.
So it's going up. It is
It's
big time. And so
yes,
that means that people are loving it, because you wouldn't be increasing your volume if it wasn't selling. If people are drinking it up.
yes, because I, I don't know what do you think, but especially after the pandemic, we have a lot of people trying to taste different things, new things, diversity, and we have a beautiful product with the wine Malbec, which is different, is fresh, it's very easy to drink with a low alcohol,
Right.
low calories.
Absolutely. And then, so on the label itself, which by the way is absolutely beautiful, because it's like it's embossed and everything here. Is this representing the winds?
The wins, exactly.
Yep.
We have this tape in all our reserve range, and represents the wins.
Right. Fantastic. And then you have the QR code that says scan and discover. So that brings you to Trivento's website, or is that specifically about this white Malbec?
It's not specifically for the wine Malbec. When you scan this QR, you will discover our the wine compass.
Oh, okay.
What is the wine compass? It's a software or something that we made, so you can taste the wine. You can it's not ready yet, but you can see your own position and sale of point of sales.
Oh, okay.
All the information about the wine, how you can pair this wine with different foods. You have a lot of information when you scan this QR.
Fantastic. And now, do you think that this is a trend? I mean, you're at the forefront of the Malbec or whatever, but we're starting to see, I mean, we're doing a white Cab Franc, we've seen white Pinot Noir. Do you think this white from a red is becoming a trend that we're going to see more and more of it?
Yes, for sure. I think I'm completely sure about that, because the people is drinking here in Argentina. The people is looking for whites, which is not common. Years ago, here in Argentina, we only had red wines consumer, and now we have more people drinking or tasting and discovering whites variety. And we have something very unique here, because it's the Malbec. Everybody knows Malbec.
Right.
It's a white version, which is a trend. And again, it's very easy to drink. You don't need food. You can drink the wine by itself. It's very easy to drink. And And the alcohol, with the 23 harvest, we have 11% of alcohol.
Wow. That can get you in trouble because you're just drinking it and not feeling it. And
You can drink the whole bottle.
yeah,
Yes.
and then be happy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And now, a word from our sponsor. Looking for a unique wine tasting experience? Look no further than Dracaena Wines' tasting room in downtown Paso Robles. Located on the corner of 13th and Pine, this charming spot is not your average winery. Founded by passionate wine lovers who also happen to be the brains behind Cab Franc Day, Dracaena Wines is proud to call themselves home of Blanc de Franc. This crisp and elegant white wine has gained a cult following and is just one example of their superb offerings. With over 10 years of consistently receiving 90+ ratings from top critics, these wines are sure to impress even the most discerning palates. So come raise a glass with us and celebrate great wines at Dracaena Wines' tasting room. I just think that this was when I think Malbec, it is so the spice, the boldness of it. I absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's kind of a mind blower that when you taste this, that because it is that apple that is just so not Malbec. So like your brain is like, wait, this is Malbec, but it's not Malbec. And I think that, yes, it's an easy drinking wine. You can sit there, like you said, and just enjoy it. But for a wine geek, it's also so deep and diving into, experiencing it.
Well, at the beginning, when we start with the white Malbec, I used to make a blind tasting with my colleagues.
Okay.
What do you have here? What are you tasting? And none of them said it's a Malbec. None of them. Okay, I'm drinking a Sauvignon Blanc, a Pinot Noir, some of them Pinot Grigio, but Sauvignon was probably the. And when I introduced the wine, okay, you are drinking a Malbec, but in a different. Wow, that was amazing, and it was a new experience, and they really looked very excited about this new wine.
And so was this your idea to do? Did you go to the higher ups and say, you know what, I think we should make a white Malbec? Or did they come to you and say, I think you should make a white Malbec? And then which way did it go?
I think it was a team work. Was to where, okay, we need to make something new, different, what we can make with Malbec, with these regions. Okay, try a new things. At the beginning for me was, okay, we can make a Malbec without oak, an oak Malbec.
Okay,
and
right.
No. Completely different, not that. And we start to think and make and that was the first concept of white Malbec. So it was a teamwork.
And then so when people come in and taste it, so like when I say we have a white, we call it a Blanc de Franc, right? So I was like, oh, we have this Blanc de Franc. Everybody's like, oh, you get like the dog head tilt, oh.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I laugh and I have a good time when people do that. What's your feeling when people pick up the glass or like when you get somebody like me that reaches out and says, oh my God, can we go talk about this white Cab Franc? What's that feeling? Or white Malbec?
It's so beautiful. It's a really, really good thing because, okay, this is not a Malbec. It's impossible. Okay, try. What do you think? And it's the same. What is this? And sometimes we put water, and next to the water, the white Malbec. And why I have two glasses of water? I don't need 2 glasses of water. No, here you have the water, and here you have the white Malbec, and they start to think and imagine, and it's a beautiful sensation. I really love that.
And to know that you're like the father A white, yeah, white Malbec, right? I mean, you are the first to have done it, and you have all of these other wineries now that are following your suit. Uh, it's got to be a proud daddy moment, right?
For sure. Yes, yes. I'm completely proud of this son, which is the white.
And all right, so when you're picking, you said that, you're really concerned about the amount of time, obviously, to, get to the winery. Is the vineyard, so how much vineyard does Trivento have? How much of Malbec? We'll
Well,
stick to the Malbec.
Trivento has 14 vineyards
Okay.
spread in the most important region in Mendoza. But for one Malbec, I selected only 2 vineyards.
Okay.
One of them in Luján de Cuyo, which is one of the most traditional areas in Mendoza for the development of the Malbec. And the other vineyard is located in Uco Valley.
Okay.
So I have 2 different profile of Malbec because I have different altitude, different soils, even a different weather with different temperatures. So in the same variety, I have 2 different profiles. And for that reason, I choose Uco and Luján de Cuyo to make this 100% Malbec. It's a blend of terroir.
And so those vineyard sites, why did you choose those 2? You said that because they're the different, climates or whatever, but why specifically those 2? Was there something special about those vineyards other than maybe you could get to the winery fastest? I don't know, but like what about those 2 vineyards are you saying this is my white Malbec?
That is because, well, as I said, I've been working here in Trivento since 2006, and I really know all the vineyards very well because I'm here from the beginning of some of these vineyards, and I start to think, okay, if I have to make a Malbec, I want something from Luján, which is the traditional region.
Okay.
So I went to the vineyard. I start to taste the grape from different plots. Okay, I need this Malbec because it's fruity. You have soft tannin and everything. And then, well, I was thinking about the final product, but I need something different. I need the acidity, the freshness. So for that reason, I moved it to Uco Valley from a very specific vineyard, for a very specific plot, because I know the characteristic and the condition from that area. But it was on my mind, thinking about the final product and how can I make that I had in my mind. Well, I choose these 2 regions, these 2 areas, and we're still growing, and we are planting more Malbec to make more white Malbec. Yeah.
That is fantastic. So those 2 vineyards are specifically dedicated to the white Cab Franc. I'm sorry, white Malbec, and then you have so you're picking those vineyards fully for the Malbec, for the white Malbec, and then you have different vineyards that you pick for your red Malbecs.
Not only the vineyard, we have part of the vineyard prepared
Parcels.
for the white Malbec, and the rest we have the traditional Malbec.
Okay.
In both of them.
Okay.
So we prepare our vineyard from the prune to produce a grape for the white Malbec, and then we have a separate plot, a separate region inside the same vineyard. Then we pick the grape for the reserve Malbec, private, golden, or different qualities or categories.
Yeah. And are they all are they trellised? How is the Malbec grown?
I'm using the vertical shoot position.
Okay.
Yes, because I'm doing a mechanical harvest.
Well, that gets it in a lot easier, a lot faster.
Yes, of course. Imagine, especially when you have a huge volume,
Right.
like 150,000 9-liter cases, you need a lot of grape.
Yes, yes, you do.
We don't have too much time. We only have 10, 15 days to pick the grape and produce this wine.
All right. And now I'm just getting your opinion on something. So some wineries, to try to get the color out, they go to charcoal. What do you
Charcoal.
Um, what do you what do you opinion of charcoal? And
I will be very honest with you. At the beginning, that was my first option.
okay.
Okay, I can use charcoal to remove the color. Even you can make a charcoal filtration, but it was for me. Sorry, for me it's a disaster. You cannot use it because it's very invasive and you remove all the color, but also you remove all the aromas.
Right. That's my thought. Like, I don't understand that logic because yeah, it's a great job of stripping, but it strips everything. So
Exactly.
did you run a trial with the charcoal, or was that first vintage? Did you use it that first vintage? Like,
It it was a trial, and it was only during the first vintage because I, I was learning, I was
okay.
discovering something new. I made some trials with charcoal, and as I said, it was like water with alcohol and acid.
Oh,
It it was terrible.
right, right. But you got rid of the pink.
Well, the color was beautiful, but when you do something like this, when you do something different, when you start with an innovation, it's not only innovation. You have to provide something with a good quality,
Mhm.
because if I give you a wine Malbec that tastes like water, okay, you are gonna taste only once, or you are gonna buy only once,
Right,
and that's all.
right. Absolutely.
So you need to do something interesting and with a good quality, respecting the fruit, the quality of a wine. It's not a regular drink. It's wine, and we love wine, and we care about the wine.
Absolutely. And so do you think that there'll be more white in the future for you? Do you think that you'll expand out to other varieties? Or, I Argentine, it's just so Malbec to me. Like,
Mhm.
but like you said, you do have other varieties. Do you see more white in the future, or
I've seen here in Argentina, here in Mendoza, I've seen a white Cabernet Franc, but with a very, very small production. It's just bottles, no more than that. And let me see, a white Cabernet Sauvignon. But mostly, the industry is making more white Malbec.
Malbec?
And for us, for Trivento, no, I don't think
Your
we are we
Trivento
are
will stick with the Malbec.
exactly, we are pioneers with the Malbec, and we will keep the same idea, the same condition.
Okay. And we didn't talk about the aging process. So you bring it in, you press it, you're doing the micro oxygenation during the alcoholic fermentation. What's your aging process for the white?
I'm using a stainless steel tank
Mhm.
during 6 months, no more than that, and I start to bottle because I want to show you the freshness and the fruit from the Malbec. So for that reason, I'm not using oak. I
Okay.
think it's very difficult to use oak in this kind of wine because it's very light, and the expression is very soft, but you have a soft fruit. But if you add oak, probably it's not a good idea.
You're gonna hide the soft fruit, right?
Yeah.
The oak
Do
will
you
the
use
oak will
do,
take
do you
over.
use oak in your cup?
No.
No.
Yeah, now it's stainless. Yeah, it's the
Stainless
same
steel.
thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the concept of, that you want the acid, you want that, it's like a rosé. We want it to be bright, and then we don't want that oak to come in and, put the blanket over it.
Yeah. We don't want to cover nothing. So for the reason it's just stainless steel, 6 months, and that's
And
all.
then bottom. And then so you're harvesting 24 now, right?
Yes, we are.
Done. You've already
Trust me,
done,
not yet. We are. I think we have
but you would have
1 more
already
week.
picked this.
No, yes, that
Yeah.
was time ago. That was
Yeah.
in January and February,
Okay.
the first week of January and February. But now we are picking the last red varieties, Cabernet Sauvignon, and the last Malbec from altitude vineyards.
Okay. All right. And so how does the 24 white look? You
I think
exciting?
Yes, I think will be an interesting harvest. We have very healthy year, so the grape is perfect. Is the ripening has been very slow, so
Okay.
we don't have high alcohol, which is fantastic. We have good acidity, freshness, and especially with the whites, will be a great year for the Argentinian whites wine.
Okay. All right. I'm always happy to drink them too.
Yes, of course, to taste.
Yes, yes. And so in terms of your serving of the white Malbec, are we doing the typical white, 45 to 55, the 7 to 13 Celsius? Is that what you're recommending for that?
Yes, I'm not sure about you. Do you use Fahrenheit?
Oh, so 7 to 13 Celsius,
Perfect, Celsius. Yes,
right?
yes. I think I prefer cooler, 7, 8 Celsius, and then in your glass will start to warm and
Mhm.
warm up, and that's perfect to enjoy the freshness, to enjoy the aromas, and that's all.
Yeah. And which is so true with temperature in wine, and I mean both red and whites, but I find it much more with the whites
With the
is
whites.
that evolution of, because like this has been sitting here for almost an hour, right? And it's changing because it's warming up, and where now I'm getting actually more of that lychee that
Okay.
you're talking about. But at the very beginning, that was the backdrop, and that apple was the front. Now it's kind of that lychee and um a melon, some sort of.
Oh,
So I
already.
I don't know. No, I'm really bad at the melons. They all kind of blend in my head.
Sometimes I feel the the red fruit, some cherries, some wild fruit
It might be
at
a
times,
little
but
into it might be a little bit going into that red rancher,
yes,
like that red
hmm
that red
exactly.
jolly. Yeah.
But when the glasses start to warm up, you can feel some more not tropical aromas, but a different profile of aroma. And you have the lychee, you have some small amount of pear, but it's
Okay.
very soft. So that's kind of aroma, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. It's and that's one of the things I love about wine. It is a living thing, and it evolves, it changes, and it changes as it warms up or as you cool it down. And what you're eating with it, all of that stuff, it morphs itself as time goes by.
Of course, and it's not the same if you taste the wine here seated and making a technical tasting, and if you taste the wine outside in the mountain or next to a pool, the flavor will be different, the aromas will be different. That
Yeah.
is beautiful. That is
Yeah.
beautiful, and that is the most important of the wine.
Yeah. And
It's an
so
experience.
it absolutely is. It absolutely is. And so, what is your favorite red Malbec pairing with Trivento, and what is your favorite white Malbec pairing?
Red pairing here, asado,
Okay.
barbecue, but it's beautiful because
Mm.
when we cook an asado, it's not only to cook a piece of meat, it's a ritual. You have all your friends or your family next to the fire sharing and eating, so it's beautiful, and you have the tannins from the wine and the fat from the meat,
Hmm.
and you have all in your mouth, which is beautiful and delicious. And if you say Malbec, you have to say asado or barbecue.
Okay.
And in whites, especially with the white Malbec, I really love the pairing with the sushi
Oh, okay.
because you have the acidity of the white Malbec, but then you have the sushi. You have so many texture and flavors, and you have the rice, so you can clean your mouth and enjoy both the wine and the food. So that is one of my favorite pairing.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. And I mean, the people who are just listening can't see it, but I can't take my nose out of the glass because every time it's just evolving. It's just You know, it's beautiful. And
And
it's not even 10 a.m., so I'm trying not to drink it, but every so often I go for the sip.
yes, we are tasting, not drinking.
Yes.
And let me add something, Lori. If you want to go to a different experience, I recommend you can pair the white Malbec with fatty food.
Okay.
I don't know. For example, do you know what a sweet bread
Sweet
sweet
bread.
bread?
Yes. Yes.
Well, which is very fatty and you need a lot of time cooking, especially in the grill.
Yeah.
So you have the fat from the sweet bread and then again the acidity and the
Yeah.
freshness from the white, which is amazing.
All right. All right. And that is, you can do that when you're pairing, you can either contrast or, you know,
I really love when you contrast. I think
yeah.
it's better when you contrast
Yeah.
the food and the wine is one of the most beautiful experiences.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I want to ask you, did I forget anything that you want to discuss about the white Malbec or Trivento? I I just love it, and it's so cool. I mean, it really was, as I said off camera, the shop that I went into was this little dingy little, like, dark, dank wine shop. Just, I really needed some wine. And this was the only wine shop around, type thing. And I walked in and I looked at what they had on the front of the shelves and in front of the shelves, and I'm like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want this. I really don't need wine this much, type of thing. And then I was going to leave and I turned around and there was the white Malbec. It was like the ray of sun shining down, onto it. I took a picture of it and I sent it to my husband. I'm like, look at this, look at this. And then he was like, he never replies very quickly. But then when he replied, he was like, well, did you buy it? And I'm like, it's already gone. Like, yes, I bought it. Yeah. So and then that was the next thing. I was like, I've got to reach out and find out how we can talk about this because
Okay.
it is so cool. And now this label doesn't have it, but I think the one you were showing that you have has the stickers that say it was,
Yes,
yeah.
here you have the first white Malbec, and this is the number one wine worldwide, but that is from Trivento. But
Right.
we put here the first white
Right.
Malbec.
Right. And that had the sticker had it. The wine I bought in the shop had that sticker on it. So I want to say kudos because I mean, I've seen whites of reds before and and none ever have been this crystal clear. So
Chris.
that is amazing. And the fact that you pick it early is kind of mind-blowing to me because it's not underripe. It doesn't taste underripe at all. It's, that acidity pairs so well with it.
Well, thank you very much. It's as you can see in my face, and well, some of them are listening,
Right.
but I'm very proud of this wine because it took like 5 years to make something that we feel very proud of. Yes, I'm extremely happy with the final result of white Malbec.
Right. Well, you should be. I think it is incredible. I have talked to people about it. I've posted about it. It really is incredible. And I want to thank you again for taking time out because you are in harvest. Taking time out to talk to me and to share your passion of of Malbec and white Malbec.
Now, Larry, thank you for inviting me, and one more time, sorry for my English,
Oh, it was
but
excellent. It was excellent.
thank you. No, but I really enjoy when we can talk like in the same level, and you are a winemaker, so you understand perfectly, and you have the same passion. So it's very easy, and we can continue speaking. I don't know, 1 more hour.
Yeah, we
because it's
could.
beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. And if it's all right with you, maybe I will shoot you some emails of maybe asking some questions the next time I harvest, and it's probably going to be pink. I'm freaking out again.
Yes, of course. I can send you all my information. We can be in contact because it's always a pleasure to speak and keep in contact with colleagues in other part of the world. So
And
thank you.
I saw an Instagram picture, I think it was from last year, but you were in front of the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
So you do come, you got to come to California. You got to come to the other coast now and
Okay.
come visit me in Paso, and I'll show you around Paso Robles.
I will be visiting the US in August.
Oh, okay.
So I will try to go to California. Will be a pleasure. Yes.
Yeah, I would love to show you around Paso Robles. So
Oh yes.
yeah. We
So
have some
nice.
Malbec. We have some Malbec.
I have to try that.
Yes, yes. But thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for creating an incredible wine and, starting that trend, starting that, a white Malbec is just, I bow down. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lori. So hope to see you soon. Hope to see you in Paso Roble or
Yeah.
here in Mendoza.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. It looks so amazing there. And every time I look at pictures, I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. But then I never get the opportunity to go.
Well,
So we'll try.
you need to make a space in your agenda to visit us, and because Mendoza is so beautiful, and we have the mountains, the vineyards, the wineries, and the experience in the wineries are amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And you have an amazing rest of your week. And I will say slancha. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. This has been another episode of Exploring the Wine Glass. Thanks for listening. If you have suggestions on what topics you would like me to discuss, please reach out on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as Exploring the Wine Glass. I am also on LinkedIn as Lori Hoyt-Budd. Of course, you can always email me at exploringthewineglass@gmail.com and sign up for my newsletter at exploringthewineglass.com. If you enjoyed what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe to help others find me more easily. And most importantly, tell your wine-loving friends, because if you like the podcast, they will too. Podcast music is Wine by Kevins. Until next week, slancha.
No, never let you go. No, never let you go. I want a nice glass right now.